Marhaba and welcome to Free Palestine Pod, the podcast. I'm Lama Bazzari.
And I'm Lina Hadi. Each week, we will bring you in-depth commentary from Palestine.
Let's talk Palestine. Today on the show, we welcome the well-recognized Palestinian human rights defender and activist Issa Amro, who joins us from the heart of the old city of Khalil, Hebron. Issa is also the founder of Youth Against Settlement. Marhaba Issa and welcome to Free Palestine Pod. Let's talk Palestine.
Thank you, Lama. شكرا كثير ومرحبا يا Lina. I am very happy to be with you today and thank you for having me.
Issa, the situation has clearly worsened since our last discussion. Can you update us on the present situation on the ground?
Just 1 hour ago, the settlers attacked us here, where I am sitting. One of them broke in, they damaged 2 chairs, a table. They threw many stones toward us, around 20 Israeli settlers, just before we start the show. And now the settlers are attacking Palestinian homes in Tel Rumeda. They throw stones at them. They throw empty bottles at them. Yesterday, they attacked few houses. Few Palestinians were injured. All of that because of Purim holiday. So they have their own holidays on the expense of our basic human rights. So they get drunk in Purim and they attack us violently without any accountability for them. And we as Palestinians who are living under the Israeli military law, we don't have any protection. We don't feel safe in our houses, and their policy is to attack us, to intimidate us, to make us leave our houses and our neighborhoods.
Habibi Issa, I'm so sorry. You mean so much to everyone, all of the activists that are outside of Palestine. We appreciate you so much, and we're so thankful for you. But I know that we need to do more. I know that the activists outside of Palestine need to do more. Can you please give us some advice? Can you tell me how Lama and I can motivate people to listen to you, to follow you, to understand, to get you to the right places, to speak to the right people? I feel like you're going unheard. You're suffering so much. And, we're just sitting here watching.
Lina and Lama, you are not watching. You are doing an amazing work by talking about Palestine, by increasing the awareness in the international community about Palestine. This is something very important. Usually the Israeli occupation attack us and they label us as terrorists. They try to really play with the narrative. They try to hide the truth. They try to hide what happened in Huwara. They try to hide that what happened in Huwara is not extraordinary. It's not exceptional day. This is the life under the Israeli military and occupation. And my life is similar to many Palestinian families. It's the similar of many Palestinian people. I'm not exceptional. Today they attacked many Palestinian houses as well in Tel Rumeda and all over. So it's not about Issa. It's about the Palestinians, women, Palestinian children, Palestinian people who are living under the Israeli brutality and Israeli occupation and Israeli apartheid. What we can do a lot. Make fighting the occupation part of our daily routine and be creative. Each one of us can do something. Engineers, they can do something. Doctors, they can do something. Social media, celebrities, they can do something. First, we need to win the narrative that Israel is not defending itself. Israel is an apartheid state. It's not democracy, it's occupation. They are working, the whole system in Israel, they are all working to displace the Palestinians and send them away from their homes. So this is what we should inform everybody by showing the materials, by leveling up the Palestinian voices. Lina, as you know, we don't exist in the international media almost as Palestinians. So to win the narrative, to reach the international media, to write to the politicians, to support Palestinian economy. Today, it's the International Women Day. Our women are amazing. They are doing an amazing work, but their stories are not highlighted. They don't have enough space in the media. They don't have enough space in politics. And that's what can be done. But something very important, Lina, don't lose the hope. Be united and be determined that we will get our rights, we will get our freedom, we will get our justice, we will get our equality by our hands and by our work and by our determination that we will not give up, we will not coexist with the occupation, and we keep exposing them. We keep shouting loud against their apartheid, separation, and segregation. But what you can do, be creative, be smart, be flexible, and make the occupation costly in the way you think it's right, but part of the movement.
In Huwara, you mentioned Huwara, Issa. They burned farms, vehicles, over 30 homes, and they destroyed the livelihood of hundreds of Palestinian families during their terror rampage. How are these families doing, and how can we support them?
What happened in Huwara is one of the bad days to Palestinians. You know, the worst situation for a father or for a mother to see her or his children crying and he's not able to give them protection, to feel that you are not safe in your house, to feel that attackers are going to burn your house and burn you alive, and you are not able to protect your children, your family, your house. This is very hard. I lived it. 2008, we experienced in Hebron the same kind of pogrom, organized, trained groups. They attack houses with 3D fuel, with 3D balls to throw it to the houses, to burn the houses. They are trained even. They are trained groups to attack Palestinian homes. What happened in Huwara is the story of the Palestinians since 1948. It's not new. Around 530 Palestinian villages and cities were destroyed in 48. So the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians is going on in 1948, 1967, and now 2023 with the current Israeli extremist fascist government. They are doing the same now. They even said it openly. Smotrich, the Israeli finance minister, and the governor of West Bank, he's a minister in even the Israeli occupation ministry. You know, they are saying, he said it, the army should erase Huwara and destroy Huwara, not the settlers. What we can do, support the families, try to give them financial support to not lose their property and to stay and remain. And many Palestinians did, and many people did. Huwara people need protections. In Hebron, we have fences all over in our windows. They need to strengthen their gates, the doors, and this is one of the projects we can work all together to strengthen the doors and the windows of the people in Huwara and be the voice of the people in Huwara. Raise their voice in the international media, raise their voice in all over the Arab media to really talk about Huwara, because Huwara is not the first and is not the last city or village to be attacked. It's the beginning of a new phase of high-profile violence toward the Palestinians. Talk to Huwara, call them, invite them for seminars, invite them for lectures to talk and express themselves and be with them and make them feel that they are not alone. This is something very important. The people in Huwara should feel that we all support them and we all with them and we are all the residents of Huwara, and we can really make conferences and name it Huwara, 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 to make the international community, the media, and the celebrities to know that Huwara is not alone. Something else, to visit Huwara. This is something very important that we ask the internationals, the celebrities, the media to keep visiting Huwara, because they want to evict the Palestinians from Huwara. They want to evict the Palestinians from Area C, and they want to evict the Palestinians from H2 in Hebron and from East Jerusalem. This is the mandate of the current Israeli government.
I mean, this is horrible, Issa, but thank you for the advice. We're going to push Huwara. They have to know that we're rooting for them, that we're on their side, that we're here any way we can help. But how is everyone dealing now with this new 2023 regime and kind of this almost pre-intifada mode that the Israelis seem to be in? How are the Palestinians coping, like psychologically and mentally? And how are the Palestinians on the ground? I mean, how are you guys doing? I can't imagine it's easy when you know people are going to start shooting you and killing you and kicking you out of your house at any moment.
Lina, it's really important to tell you that the majority of the Palestinians, they are more united now. The Palestinians now are really afraid about the future, but at the same time, ready to fight, ready to defend their homes, ready to go on with their struggle against the apartheid and the occupation. It's a threat, but in the same time, we are trying to change the threat to opportunity, to tell all the supporters of the occupation that they are supporting fascism and they are supporting apartheid regime, and to disconnect the Israeli government now from the external support, because Israel is very strong because of the trade agreement with Europe, because of the $3.8 billion from the US military aid, and because of many other international projects in the high tech in Israel. Nowadays, it's the time to talk to everybody in the world. Are you supporting fascism? Are you supporting apartheid? Because it's now so obvious. This government, it's an opportunity for us to inform everybody about what was hidden in West Bank in the last 56 years and what was hidden all over Palestine since 75 years. We want everybody in the world to understand us now and to know what's going on. And we need you, Lina, now. We need you, Lama, now to inform more and to do more and more. But in the ground, I promise you that we will not give up, because it's about our dignity. It's about our duty to resist and stay on the ground to protect our land, our future, our children, our women, our cities. No way we will accept to be refugees again. The Palestinians suffered for being refugees 2 times until now, and the 3rd time it will not happen at all. We will stay, remain, and we are ready to pay the price. But now we have many brothers and sisters all over the world, not as 48, not as 67. They are all our voices. They are all our supporters. They are us outside representing us, talking on our behalf, fighting their governments in our behalf, making the occupation costly in our behalf. So we are sure that we are staying, but we need you to stay firm about what you do, and you are doing an amazing work. And I'm really very proud of Talking Palestine and many other journalists and many other influential who are really making a huge change on the public opinion all over the world.
Can you provide us on the ground update on the community in Masafer Yatta that continue to be displaced?
Yes, Masafer Yatta, it's part of West Bank. It's very important area near Yatta, and it's between Yatta and the Dead Sea and Jordan. And the Israeli occupation is working now to displace the Palestinians from 10 communities. Around 3,000 Palestinians in that area are facing eviction from their communities and from their homes. In the last almost 23 years, the occupation was working, making the life of the Palestinian harder. Imagine that you are not allowed to build restroom. Imagine that restroom, you are not allowed. Renewable energy systems were destroyed by the Israeli military. The roads were destroyed. The Bedouins in that area and the villagers there, they don't have electricity. They don't have roads. They don't have enough water. With that hard conditions, the Palestinians remained and stayed. And recently, the Israeli occupation decided to take them out. And unfortunately, the Israeli Supreme Court, which is part of the Israeli occupation, ruled that to evict 10 communities from Masafer Yatta, and the people there are fighting, staying there, remaining there, asking for help, asking for more political support, and they are asking for more public support. And now they are one of the communities which the current Israeli government is working to evict, as well as Jordan Valley, as well H2 people in Hebron, as well as the Palestinians in East Jerusalem. And the one who was working to evict the 10 communities is Smotrich. Smotrich is the founder of an organization called Rakavim. Rakavim's main mandate is to remove the Palestinian identity from Area C, and he was working to pressure the Israeli military to demolish Palestinian homes, to remove Palestinian communities, Palestinian villages. Now, this Smotrich, the founder of Rakavim, is the financial minister, and he's a minister in the Israeli occupation ministry, and he's responsible about West Bank, and he's responsible about the civil administration. So he's the one now who is going to work to evict the Palestinians from the 10 communities in Masafer Yatta. Masafer Yatta suffered from a lot of settler violence. 2 years ago, Mufaggara, one of the villages which is facing eviction, Mufaggara was attacked by settlers. Kids were injured. Even few months kid was taken to hospital from a same type of pogrom in Huwara, but didn't get enough attention from the media. But people there are staying, remaining, but they need our support and our solidarity.
Wow, it's really heavy. I'm so sorry that we're not getting more dissemination in the mainstream media in the West and in Europe. And speaking of the West, how was your trip to Washington? And do you feel that the Americans might change the course of their very, very pro-Israeli stance? Did you see any hope while you were there?
I can say that with my first visit to the US in 2011, I was really depressed. I felt that there is no change there. But when I went back 2015, 2016, I felt there is a big change in the US. A lot of people are joining our nonviolent struggle, and there is a big public opinion changing. There are more Americans informed about what is happening, and that is the momentum for us in the US, that many Palestinians, they suffered from ignorance. Now we see public opinion changing in the United States. I saw mainstream media listening to me. I met the majority of the mainstream media. I informed them about what's going on the ground. I met officials. I met civil society groups. But we need to work more and more on them to transform the public opinion to political support.
And are you witnessing the same on the ground, Issa? More foreign and Israeli, Jewish, even Palestinian activists on the ground in Hebron, and more guided tours via groups such as Breaking the Silence? And in your opinion, is that making a difference?
Yes, it makes difference. We see more solidarity groups from all over the world, but the Israeli occupation is trying to prevent them. You saw how the Israeli occupation prevented the solidarity activists from reaching Huwara, the Israeli activists, but they allowed the settlers to reach Huwara. This is something very important. I saw in the protest in Huwara, how in Tel Aviv, how many Israelis were saying, "Where were you in Huwara?" That is a big, big change. So we want really to reach more and more people in Israel, more and more people all over the world. Unfortunately, the mainstream in Israel are very fanatic and extreme and pro the current Israeli government, and they are right-wing. But when we make them accountable for their violence, for their apartheid, and label Israel as an apartheid state, I think many Israelis will change their opinion and they will not accept to be in an apartheid state. It's our work and your work and everybody else work to make the occupation costly, and labeling Israel as an apartheid state, it's one of the tactics we use to make it costly for the occupiers.
Okay. But I mean, Issa, do you have contact with Israelis? Are you able to access the Israeli population? Do they hear you? Are they following you? Do they know what's going on in Hebron? Because I feel like from everything Lama and I are experiencing, it seems like there's a big separation between Palestinians, obviously, and the Israelis, but I don't even know if the information is getting to them.
I am under the Israeli military law, and the Israelis are under the Israeli civil law. The Israelis are allowed to protest peacefully. We are not allowed to protest peacefully according to the Israeli law. So non-violent resistance is not allowed according to the Israeli military law. Me, I'm not allowed to get into Jerusalem. I'm not allowed to go to Tel Aviv. I'm blacklisted, and majority of Palestinians don't get permits to go to Tel Aviv or to meet any other Israelis. We have connections with the Israeli human rights organization as B'Tselem, Yeshdin, Breaking the Silence, who are a minority in the Israeli society. But I see now few more Israelis who are aware of what's going on. But it's not about if they are aware or not. It's about they know what's going on. It's about that we take them out from their comfort zone, because we don't influence them. They don't care about us. We are overseas for them, but we are close to the settlers. So the settlers are against us, and they are the ones who have power now in the Israeli government. And even before this Israeli government, the settlers are the main ruler of West Bank. But we try our best, Lina, to reach the Israeli media. But unfortunately, to be very honest with you, when I was attacked on February 13th by an Israeli soldier, I was beaten, I was ill-treated. The Israeli media stood with a soldier, not with me. In spite that the videos were so obvious that I was attacked by an Israeli fanatic soldier, and the Israeli media said and explained that the soldier was my victim. Imagine, that was the Israeli media, and they described me as a professional provocator. So unfortunately, that the Israeli mainstream media until now, they are pro-settlements, they are pro-occupation, they are pro-apartheid, and they pro-fascism.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot. I mean, I really feel like we have to somehow figure out how to penetrate the Israeli media in order to direct the narrative and explain to the Israelis that they're getting the wrong side of the story. And clearly you're not the terrorist, you're the victim. Lema and I are going to do everything we can on the outside. And the lobby, of course, I mean, we are all behind you, but any advice you can give us, Issa, we really appreciate, because sometimes we feel like our hands are tied and we're all lobbying. I'm lobbying in Central Europe, the United States, and many other places. Lema is working nonstop, but I just feel like we need some guidance from the people on the inside. I mean, obviously you told us focusing on the destruction of all of the cities is very important to get public attention. But anything you could advise us or anything you would recommend, we're here for you, and we have access to all of the governments where we live. So, we're doing everything we can, but I feel like we need to get the story out more, as much to the West as we really do to the Israelis inside Israel, who have a completely different and false narrative about what's actually happening in occupied Palestine. Thank you.
Lena, I am very proud of you. Lama, I am very proud of you too. You are doing an amazing work to report the truth. That's when I meet mainstream media, I tell them, please only report the truth from the ground. Don't manipulate. Don't report according to your interest. Don't report according to politics. Report the truth. And you are taking first-hand testimonies from us. You are reporting what's going on from a grassroots level. It's rare. I don't do this kind of things a lot. To be very honest with you, we want to target more influencers on social media. So if we bring them in to this kind of shows, to this kind of reporting, it makes a change. We want to reach our brothers and sisters from the Arab countries, from Palestinians who are in Europe and in the US, and they are still in their comfort zone. We tell them it's the time. We need them. We need them time. We're facing another Nakba. We need them to stand up. We need them to be united with us. We need them to really be united and form lobbies and do more networking, do more awareness, because we have many amazing Palestinians in the diaspora. We have many amazing Arabs in the diaspora, but they are in the comfort zone, Lena. This is something very important. They don't do much for Palestine. We want them to stand up as you do. You are doing an amazing work for me. When Palestinians see you talking about them, they feel revealed. They feel that, okay, we are not alone. Look, we are on social media. We are in mainstream media. People know about our suffering. So it's a call for all people who care about Palestinians, who care about justice, who care about human rights. It's the time to stand up and do concrete actions and be creative to make the occupation costly and make fighting the occupation peacefully part of your daily routine, because we need you now.
I couldn't agree with you more. There are far too many Palestinians and non-Palestinians who are complacent and who are not active enough and not helping the plight of the Palestinians. We all need to work together. We all need to be good to each other, and we have to support the Palestinians living inside occupied Palestine, and we have to get them basic rights. I couldn't agree with you more, Issa. I'm on your team, and so is Lema. We thank you so much for talking us to this evening. We are going to disseminate this information to as many people as we can. Mind you, also, we send all of this to universities, so the students are going to get to see this, which is very important, much more important, actually. So we're here for you. Anytime you want to talk, we're here. We respect you. We love you, and we really hope you're safe. And I hope that we do see a free Palestine in our lifetime. Wallah, I really do. Thank you.
We will see it. We will see free Palestine. We are almost there, but we need to put
Inshallah.
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 Thank you,
Bye-bye, Lina.
Issa.
Bye-bye, Lama.
And take care of yourself. Thank you, and take care of yourself.
All the best.
Thank you for joining us this week on Free Palestine Pod. Subscribe, like, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
And be sure to come back next week for a new episode of Free Palestine Pod. Let's talk Palestine.